Yo, what's up, folks? Steve Harris of Low Class Media. We're out here for round 3 of the Texas Offroad Championship Series in 2024. We're at Spoaks MotoPark here in Lockhart, Texas. It's gonna be a sick race. The weather's looking good. Let's get after it. Guys, and as we're coming back from practice, I just got to say one thing. If you want your bikes to last, you got to quit putting Rotella in it. All right, guys, you got to use the best Motorex. I'm telling you right now, it's in the manual. All right, guys, come on. And honestly, you want to wear the best gear, you got to use FXR, folks. It just looks good. Let's be real. I mean, maybe not on me, maybe on other people, but I'm loving this gear, and I appreciate the sponsorship from these two great companies. Go! Harper, what is that?
I don't know, brother.
Oh, he's on the Suron! Woo! Rip it! All right, so the C and D class races have started. It's mass chaos. We're out here watching the folks on the sand track. It's gonna be a pretty cool race, man. It's got pretty much everything, right? It's got a lot of real tight trails, you know, a little transfer section that's kind of like real fast grass track, and then ultimately a motocross track with some actual jumps in it. And I've already seen people get past who don't want to hit the jump. That's gonna be me, obviously. But yeah, really, really interesting to see how this goes. So let's go get ready, and then we'll jump out there and get racing. Woo! All right, folks, here we go. I bogged off the line there and really just the bike wouldn't go anywhere. The dust wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be on the start. I mean, like right here, it's kind of like, oh, where do I go? But it wasn't that bad. Kind of found myself a little spot in line here. Uh-oh. Oh boy, went down right there. I really wanted to pass old, I think it's Brian Quinn or Quinn, maybe, I'm not sure, honestly. He's got his number or name on the back of his jersey. I really wanted to pass him right here, but I just didn't get it lined up, and then there was the dust, and I just if it was clear, well, he wouldn't have slowed down, but I might have been able to poke through. I hate that turn. I hate this whole section of the course before you actually kind of like get into the woods. I hate it. I remember feeling just kind of real sketchy here at the beginning and not really settled into the bike. I got absolutely slammed in the lower back by that. Yeah, see, like right here, just not locked in, losing the front. Going over that log, though, my seat just slapped me right in the butt and just like totally jacked up my lower back. One thing I was kind of butthurt about on this race is they didn't put my favorite section of the trails in, and it's kind of near this area. Once you get past through all this kind of up down, you know, semi rocky tight stuff, there was this one part of the trail that was real zigzaggy and real smooth, and it was just, I don't know, it was so smooth and so fun. And they didn't put it in. I was kind of bummed. But looks like we also rode on some new stuff as well, so that was kind of cool. I'm kind of making some mistakes here. Dude's revving his motor at me, but you know, it's lap one. It's a you know, it's a race. And I mean, if he gets around me, he's just going to be stuck behind this guy, and I'm behind this guy already. So I'm not sure who that was. I don't know if that was 721 or not. I don't think so. But we get it going here, and we start to pick up a pretty good rhythm. I think I went over that in practice and kind of forgot that it was a steep drop off on the other side and almost sent it a little too hard. You know, this race I actually hadn't ridden since, well, I'd only ridden one time since Sandwinder. I had a bunch of stuff going down, traveling and different things, and I wasn't able to get on the bike but one time between really the last, well, one time which was Sandwinder, and then one practice session which was you know, out at Three Palms. I posted a video of that actually if you want to check that out. But yeah, on the bike for practice once, raced another time between Ott Ranch, not Ott Farm. I actually didn't make Ott Farm. That was the first race I missed since 2020. But yeah, so really not a lot of practice between, you know, Ott Ranch and now. And when I got out on the course, my bike just felt so, I just felt so disconnected, just did not feel good. And I realized even at Three Palms when I was practicing on the hard pack trails that I had my bike still set up for sand at Sandwinder, and so I was getting beat to shreds. But I made a change after practice, and even just riding the bike around, going to watch some of the C&D races, I could tell it was going to be a lot better during the race, and it definitely was. I actually really was happy with the way the bike performed. It did have sort of like a misfire thing going on where it was not really bogging, but just not wanting to go. So I need to investigate that, make sure there's nothing wrong with my fuel system. But overall, the bike really felt great, and I felt good too. This is one of my best performances so far. I think this is actually my best finish in a race in Open B yet. I can spoil it. I ended up 11th in this race, but I think I rode up to maybe maybe like somewhere between like 6th, 7th, or 8th or something. And I think my first lap was like either like the 4th or 5th fastest lap looking at the times. I don't know if there was an issue with maybe the scoring or anything, but you know, I got around one guy on the start. There were two guys pulled over. Then this thing here, I mean, these are two dudes, you know, kind of messed up, and this kind of gave me some clear air to work with. Which honestly, I'm not really sure how I finished this lap. Yeah, I messed that turn up every freaking lap and in practice, and I know it's there. I know this place like the back of my hand. fun little section in here. The trail really has gotten defined through here, whereas, you know, previous years, this whole area was kind of more wide open, but there's really a line that's developed and it's kind of started to dish out, so it's actually slightly more sketchy than I remember, really having to be precise with your tire placement. This part of the trail too used to be a lot more rough, and it's really got smoothed out. There's a huge bump usually right here in the past, but that bush that was there has obviously been destroyed by the traffic. But in any case, yeah, I was actually really happy with the way I raced this race, especially considering the amount of practice I had between now and the previous race. Speaking of which, I'm catching John Steele right here. This is John Steele in front of me, and John's a good bit faster and more competitive to me, so when I saw this, I was like, dang, I'm actually putting down a little time. I think he was actually kind of just tired after the initial sprint off the start, and this place will wear you out for sure, just with all the back and forth on the turning. What's up, Johnny? But yeah, I caught John, and I was like, ooh, this is good for me. Still kind of tiptoeing through here, hadn't quite figured it out. I think I hit this section quite a bit faster later in the race. This area too used to be a lot more deep rutted, but it's kind of widened out a little bit and turned into a little bit more navigable piece of trail. And then through here, I remember through here I used to kind of hate this section. It was just real marbly and real kind of just super hard pack, not really square edge, but just had a lot of stuff going on while you're trying to make these sharp turns. And I felt pretty locked in on it, honestly. I don't know if it's maybe the surface has improved. I think that might be the case. I was always blowing that turn on purpose, by the way. We're coming up on Blue Bonnet Run here. Love this part. You can just send it down this freaking narrow canyon of vegetation. Pretty cool. Popping out on the vet track that we skipped this year. I don't know why I was so timid on that jump. It was actually pretty mellow. Even compared to previous years, it wasn't quite as lippy. Screwed this up every time. There goes 2 seconds. I think that was John right behind me. Alright, so lap 2 here. Or I guess lap 1.5. Ooh, slide it. And turn go. This turn I always felt was sharper, but if you look through it, kind of just keep moving. You don't have to slow down very much. This one too, no need to really hit the brakes, but I was. Overcooked this one. Braking early because it was kind of slippery in here. I couldn't figure it out. I guess I could have gone straight, or no, there was a ribbon there. I don't know, but I probably could have gone straight there. There was no ribbon. I don't know. I was just kind of following the trail. Could never get this turn down very well, but tried to hit it. Last year, we rode most of this same sort of little hard pack section, and I felt really sketchy and just not super capable. I'm on a different tire this year, so it could be, you know, a good part of it's the tires performing better, but I just felt more locked in on the hard pack than in previous years, which is kind of the opposite experience I had on the sand. And I was definitely, you know, tired running into the sand track here, but I just could not find my footing in the turns on the sand track. I was trying to hit the ruts, and man, I don't practice ruts. I don't go out to the motocross track very much anymore, and so getting that bike leaned over and trying to ride that line, I should have should have just drove out into the thick stuff and just rotated the bike and shot out the other way. Like even, I mean, there goes John. He got me back. But hey, listen, I spent a good bit of time in front of him. Look at this, terrible. God. Oh, the speed is just insane, folks. Last year I did not do this, so happy to make some progress. Doubling. I should be tripling, but I'm a wuss. Almost crashed on this jump in practice, so definitely bellying up to it. This turn I felt pretty good on. Was able to get in and out of pretty easy. This one wasn't terrible either. Alright, here we go, back to the grass track. I actually really enjoyed this little transfer section back to the trails. Come on, hit the brakes. I honestly like slick hard pack as long as it's not super chopped up and bumpy and nasty. It reminds me of Supermoto, which I ride a Supermoto on the street pretty much weekly. Feels a lot like that. There's John, rocketing ahead. Oh, somebody knocked the sign down. All right, so for catching John and passing him all the way to that point, I mean, he was only that one turn ahead of me once we were kind of starting the next lap, and so I was proud of that. But ultimately, you know, he kind of left me in the dust, and he just left me in the dust. Okay, see my hand here. So I bought a new lens because my old lens was just torched, and I'm trying to I wore a tear off to protect the lens from getting scratched, and I didn't think I was gonna tear it off, so I like tucked the tear off tab into the edge of the goggles so it wouldn't be like fluttering around next to my ear the whole time. And of course I couldn't tear it off, and I go to wipe it, and all it did was just smear all that dust with sweat. I'm sitting here looking for it, trying to get it off, trying to pull the damn thing off. They got people breathing down my neck. I couldn't see anything, and I was like, alright, I gotta get out of the way. So I pull over here. I mean, if you go back and pause the video, you can look at that thing. It was literally just brown. So I never use tear-offs. I think I've used like maybe since 2020 when I started racing. I think I've maybe used 5. And again, I just wore that one to kind of protect the lens, and it totally backfired. So all that to say, I was running in a pretty good spot, but now I've got, I think at least 3 folks are in my class here. I don't think all 4 were. So yeah, I've let some guys by where I would have had a lot better positioning. No worries though, still riding good. I mean, they're right there. But I am definitely starting to feel the fatigue.
I'm alright being behind these guys.
Also, I hope you like my professional attire here. Oh man, almost ran that tree. I just got off work. I'm trying to crank this video out before I go to MotoGP this weekend with Eric Liu and Juan Sanchez and the boys. We're going to be working on the track, picking up those MotoGP boys when they fall, getting their bikes going again. Super fun. right, so hey, you know, let those guys by. They put a little gap on me. I've caught back up to Brian here. Me and him had just a race. And even the other guy that was in front of him, I mean, he's like right up there. Come on. You know, each year I've improved, you know, kind of little by little, and this year is my second season in Open B. And I definitely raced here. I definitely raced better here than I did last year. Yeah, I think last year it was one of the earlier races, and I was kind of timid and just didn't really know how to attack it. I had a really poor start because of the dust. And then there's elements like some of these downhills. Like I'm charging down these downhills a lot more than I was the previous year. And so I've definitely picked up skills that I just never locked in on the turn. Definitely picked up skills since last year that I didn't have before. Come on. Brian was kind of slowing down here, and I was really trying to see if I could find a place to poke by him, but trying to kind of stay with him here to see if he might like overcook a turn or something. I could get to the inside. He kind of did here, but he kept it in check and kept going. Man, it's so funny how slow it looks right now and how fast it felt on the bike. I mean, it's just intense when you're there. I think it's so funny how evenly matched we were. I mean, he was able to pull a little time on me. There's another guy in our class we passed. He's able to pull a little time on me, and I was kind of tracking him back down, and he'd pull a little time, and I'd track him back down. Even here I was trying to cut like to the inside, just try to find anything. Nothing I can do. I learned right there that was not faster. But I kind of think from here back to the open stuff, he definitely had an edge on me. I don't know. There were some elements of this stuff through here that I just could not figure out. He was quick through here, man. Just straight up lost it. There's old Harper in my class, and then number 98, I forget his name. Just a boneheaded move. Kind of really wrenched my leg pretty good right there too. But I was able to just deal with it. I didn't end up getting hurt or anything, but definitely it was a little bit of an awkward fall. There's Steve right there saying, "He's right in front of you, Harper's right in front of you." I was like, I know. And I just let him by accident. I'm determined. Slide, 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 and turn. Inside cut here. It's kind of funny, like literally right there's no ribbon going straight. So I have to believe that people were just cutting right through there. Maybe there was a ribbon before, but once they go down, you know, people start going, and hey, it's a place where you can lose time. I don't know if Harper was just turning it on right here, but geez, I could not catch it. I didn't like that line that I was taking through there on that turn. I was trying to cut it inside, but to get out of it, to stay out of that kind of slick dust, but it just didn't ever really work. I kept losing the front end. Lay on it. Had no ability through this sand track. It's like crap. Look at this. Golly, it's like the first time I ever rode a bike. And then just, yeah, golly. This guy was in 250B, I think, though. It's ugly. Turn it. There we go. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Hit that a little better, hit that a little better. Got smashed in the lower back again by those square edge bumps. It's crazy how violent that stuff gets, even in like soft sand. This guy was having some issue with his water hose right here. I think he got it figured out by this point. I think I cut past it, but this is kind of a cool little section through here. Trying to let a 250B guy by. Old Mike Clifton repairing the trail for us. I think it's what, this is technically lap 3, so this will be the final lap here. There's old Hawaiian shirt, dude. I guess that's Hawaiian shirt. Another 250B guy. So I was riding here, kind of tired, and it just something just didn't feel right. And I let a guy in my class go by, 721 James Huckabee.
Tired.
What an idiot. Oh. There's a wine shirt, dude. I don't know, something's going on with him. I thought I had a flat tire. And even though I was continuing to roll forward, I decided to stop and check. Close one. Good damage control there. Even though I was still continuing to roll, I decided to stop and check. Here I am driving off the freaking trail. And yeah, I definitely did not have a flat tire.
It's literally a funnel and you're going off the track.
And so I basically just pulled over for no reason. Gave up the position. You know, for no reason. But gained it back right there, thank God. Coming back on Blue Bonnet Run here. Hit it. Looks sick. And this is basically the end of the race, folks. Good race. Like I said, one of my best finishes. Well, the best finish. I got 11th. Probably could have done a little better had I not made some bonehead mistakes and also just not been a complete bonehead pulling over and checking my tire. But that's the way it goes. I was happy with the race considering how little I'd practiced, and yeah, love Spoaks. I want to actually go back and just ride for fun.
Woo! What a race, folks. That was tough. Still pretty good, but had a couple inopportune moments with my tear off. I couldn't get my tear off. I was reaching for it, and it wouldn't come off, and it was all dusty, and so I had to pull over and pull the damn thing off, and then people got by, and then I had a crash, and more people got by, and then, like an idiot, I thought I had a flat tire, so I was like, oh, I'll just pull over and check, and of course it wasn't flat, and all I did was just feel dumb. So all in all, fun race. I don't even know where I placed, probably close to the back after all the little things that happened to me, so no worries. Looking forward to the next one. It's a mystery where it's going to be, but we'll be looking forward to seeing what they announce on that and getting out there and doing some more racing. So see you guys there. Later.